Yamunatira Vanasari Yamunatira Vanasari Jaya Radha Govinda Madhava Radha Govinda Madhava Shri Radhe Jaya Radha Shri Radha Jaya Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Jaya Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Krishna Balaram Balaram Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Jaya Gauranitai Gauranitai Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev 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 Jaya Jaya Gurudev Jaya Gurudev Shri Radha Govinda Madhav ki, Shri Krishna Balaram ki, Shri Gauranitai ki jai, Sadhu Sangha ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Swagatam, Swagatam, welcome. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Agyanti Mirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Shakshu Militena Tashmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupam Kadamayam Dadati Svapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavam Sha Shri Rupa Sagrajatam Sahagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sam Jivam Sadvetam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Dina Bandhu Jugatpate Upesh Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kansane Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshvari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpa Tarudasha Kripa Sindhubhyeva Cha Patitanam Pavanibhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Sadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So we're reading from the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10, 1, 14. So I will translate in French, I guess, for these two fellows. Donc, le Srimad Bhagavatam, 10, 1 à 14. Sutto Vacha Evam Nishamya Brigunandan Sadhuvadam Evam Nishamya Brigunandan Sadhuvadam Vaisaki Sa Bhagwan Atha Vishnuratam Vaisaki Sa Bhagwan Atha Vishnuratam Pratyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashagnam Pratyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashagnam Vyahatum Arabha Bhagavad Pradanaha Vyahatum Arabhata Bhagavad Pradana Sutto Vacha Evam Nishamya Brigunandan Sadhuvadam Vaisaki Sa Bhagwan Natha Vishnuratam Pratyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalma Shagnam Vyahatum Arabhata Bhagavad Pradana Sutto Vacha
Evam Nishamya Brigunandana Sadhuvadam
Evam Nishamya Brigunandan Sadhuvadam
Vayasaki Sa Bhagavanatha Vishnuratam
Vaisaki Sa Bhagavanatha Vishnuratam
Pratyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikalmashagnam
Patyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikal Masanagnam
Vyahartumara Bhata Bhagavata Pradhana Evam Nishamya Raghunandana Sadhuvadam
Varyasaki Sa Bhagavanatha Vishnuratam Pratyarcha Krishna Charitam Kalikal Mashagnam Vyahatumara Bhata Bhagavata Pradana Sutto Vacha Sutta Goswami said, Sutta Goswami a dit, Evam, thus, ainsi, Nishamya, hearing, écoutant, Brigunandan, O son of the Brigu dynasty, Shunaka, au fils de la dynastie Bhrigu, Shonak. Sadhuvadam, pious questions, des questions pieuses. Vaisakhi, Shukdev Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva. Shukdev Goswami, le fils de Vyasadeva. Sa, he, il, Bhagwan, the most powerful, le plus puissant. Atha, thus, ainsi. Vishnu Latam, unto Maharaj Parikshit, envers Parikshit Maharaj, who was always protected by Vishnu, qui était toujours protégé par Vishnu. Patyarcha, offering him respectful obeisances, lui offrant des hommages respectueux. Krishna Charitam, topics of Lord Krishna, des sujets ayant trait au Seigneur Krishna. Kalikal Mashanagnam, which diminish the troubles of this age of Kali, qui diminue les troubles, les problèmes de cet âge de Kali. Vyahartum, to describe, pour décrire. Harabhata, began, commença. Bhagavad Pradhanaha, Shukdev Goswami, the chief amongst the pure devotees. Shukadev Goswami, le chef ou le principal parmi les purs dévots. Translation. Sutta Goswami said, O son of Bhrigu, Shunakarishi, after Shukdev Goswami, the most respectable devotee, the son of Vyasadeva, heard the pious questions of Maharaj Parikshit, he thanked the king with great respect. Then he began to discourse on topics concerning Krishna, which are the remedy for all sufferings in this age of Kali. Sutta Goswami dit alors au fils de Bhrigu, Shunakarishi, après que Shukdev Goswami, le dévot des plus respectables, le fils de Vyasadeva, eut entendu les questions pieuses de Maharaj Parikshit, il remercia alors le roi avec grand respect. Ensuite, il commença à discourir sur les sujets concernant Krishna, qui sont le remède pour toutes les souffrances dans cet âge de Kali. Purport. In this verse, the words Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmashagnam indicate that the activities of Lord Krishna are certainly the greatest panacea for all miseries, especially in this age of Kali. It is said that in Kali Yuga, people have only short lives and they have no culture of spiritual consciousness. If anyone is at all interested in spiritual culture, he is misled by many bogus swamis and yogis who do not refer to Krishna Katha. Therefore, most people are unfortunate and disturbed by many calamities. Srila Vyasadeva prepared Srimad Bhagavatam at the request of Narad Muni in order to give relief to the suffering people of this age. Kali Kalmash and Gnam. The Krishna consciousness movement is seriously engaged in enlightening people through the pleasing topics of Srimad Bhagavatam. All over the world, the message of Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita is being accepted in all spheres of life, especially in advanced educated circles. Srila Shukdev Goswami is described in this verse as Bhagavad Pradhanaha, whereas Maharaj Parikshit is described as Vishnu Ratam. Both words bear the same meaning, that is, Maharaj Parikshit was a great devotee of Krishna, and Shukdev Goswami was also a great saintly person and a great devotee of Krishna. Combined together, Pasamam Sakshat Bhakti Yuga Lokasya Janato Vidvam Shakre Sadvata Samitam. The material mysteries of the living entity, which are superfluous to him, can be directly mitigated by linking process of devotional service. But the mass of people do not know this. And therefore, the learned Vyasadeva compiled this Vedic literature, Srimad Bhagavatam, which is in relation to the Supreme Truth. Bhagavatam 176. People in general are unaware that the message of Srimad Bhagavatam can give all of human society relief from the pangs of Kali Yuga. Kali Kalmash Gnam. Dans ce verset, les mots Krishna Charitam Kali Kalmashagnam indiquent que les activités du Seigneur représentent certainement la plus grande panacée pour toutes les misères, surtout dans cet âge de Kali. Il est dit que dans l'âge de Kali, les gens ont des vies courtes et ils n'ont aucune culture, ils ne cultivent pas du tout la conscience spirituelle. De plus, si quelqu'un est intéressé par la culture spirituelle, il est souvent fourvoyé par de nombreux pseudo-swamis et yogis qui ne se réfèrent pas à la Krishna Katha. De ce fait, la plupart des gens sont infortunés et disturbed, ils sont dérangés par toutes sortes de calamités. Srila Vyasadeva a préparé le Srimad Bhagavatam à la requête de Narad Muni afin de soulager les gens qui souffrent dans cet âge. Kali Kalmash Nam. Le mouvement pour la Krishna est sérieusement engagé à éveiller, illuminer les gens à travers les sujets très plaisants du Srimad Bhagavatam. Dans le monde entier, le message du Srimad Bhagavatam et de la Bhagavad Gita sont acceptés dans toutes sortes de domaines, toutes sortes de domaines de la vie, surtout dans les milieux, dans les cercles éduqués et avancés. Srila Shukdev Goswami est décrit ici dans ce verset comme Bhagavad Pradhanaha. Et Maharaj Parikshit est décrit comme Vishnuratam. Ces paroles, ces deux termes ont le même sens, à savoir Maharaj Parikshit était un grand dévot de Krishna et Shukdev Goswami était un grand saint et un grand dévot de Krishna. Mis ensemble, afin de présenter la Krishna Katha, ils vont certainement soulager l'humanité souffrante. Anarto pasamam sakshat bhakti yogama dokshaje lokasya janato vidvam shakre sadvatam samitam. Les misères, les problèmes matériels du jiva, de l'être vivant, lui sont superflues. Elles peuvent être facilement amadouées ou mitigées plutôt par le processus qui nous relie, le processus de service de dévotion qui nous relie. Mais la masse des gens ne savent pas ceci. Et de ce fait, l'érudit Vyasadeva a compilé cette littérature védique, Srimad Bhagavatam, qui est en relation avec la vérité absolue. Bhagavatam 1.7.6. Les gens en général sont inconscients que le message du Srimad Bhagavatam peut donner à toute la société humaine soulagement des misères, des affres du Kali Yuga. Kali Kalmashnam. So, we are right in the beginning of the 10th canto, which is, as we know, according to Padma Puran, this is the smile of the Lord, the biggest canto. There's precisely 365 chapters in the Srimad Bhagavatam. And how many chapters pertain to the 10th canto? 90, very good. So which is practically 1/4. So you can well imagine, this is the main, it's leading, the whole Bhagavatam is leading to the 10th canto. There's 10 topics in the Srimad Bhagavatam, And all these topics take shelter, ashraya. Ashraya means Lord Krishna. All the topics in Srimad Bhagavatam take shelter in this ultimate topic, ashraya, the 10th canto. Donc effectivement, on est au début du 10e chant. Donc il est clair que ce chant représente le sourire de Krishna. Selon Padma Purana, le Bhagavatam est comparé aux différentes parties du corps de Dieu. Et donc, tous les sujets, il y a 10 sujets dans le Srimad Bhagavatam, c'est un Mahapurana. Tous les sujets, les 9 sujets principaux de départ, vont prendre refuge dans le 10e sujet qui est le 10e chant, le sourire de Krishna. So what is the connection with the previous canto? And there's a connecting verse, it's a seed verse. It's 9:24:66, previous canto. So there it says that Lord Krishna is known as Lila Purushottam. Is always engaged in pleasure pastimes. And we know that he appeared as the son of Vasudeva. But immediately we have seen, or we're going to see actually, he's going to leave his father's house and he's going to go to Vrindavan to expand his loving relationship with his confidential associates. Well, Krishna keeps on moving from one circle of devotees to the next, and it varies in intimacy, in confidentiality. Donc, il y a un verset qui connecte avec le chant précédent. Il y a un verset qui est juste avant, enfin, à la fin du 9e, 9:24:66, qui explique que on va rentrer maintenant dans le 10e chant. On va parler de Krishna, Dieu la personne suprême, qui est Lila Purushottam. Lila Purushottam, ça veut dire quoi? Il est là, il se divertit. C'est le Purush Uttam, c'est le Purush ultime, c'est la personne, c'est le mâle suprême, le Purush Uttam, pour dire mâle, le masculin. Donc, il va se divertir pendant ce chant, 10e chant. On va voir qu'il va apparaître comme le fils de Vasudeva. Et tout de suite, il va être emmené par son père ailleurs. À quel endroit? À Vrindavan. Et là, il va encore s'entourer de dévots très confidentiels, des dévots qui sont pleins d'amour pour lui. So, in Vrindavan, the Lord killed many demons. We're going to see that, Lord Balaram, but mostly Krishna actually. And after he returned to Dwarka. And we know that according to Vedic principles, he's going to marry many wives. And he's going to have lakhs. Lakhs means hundreds of thousands of children. How many children in each wife? 10. So 16,108 by 10, it's 1,600,000. So, and he's going to perform sacrifices for his own worship. It's amazing, actually. He's worshipping himself. We could say he's a Mayavadi, but no, he's the supreme. He's allowed to worship himself. This is the greatness of Krishna. He's all-encompassing. Everything finds solace in him. Everything finds ashraya. He's the shelter of the shelter. Ashraya, ashraya. So he's going to perform sacrifice for his own worship, mostly to establish the principles of household life. Because we can see throughout his whole life, Krishna was not a brahmachari, he was mostly a grihastha. So he's teaching us as a grihastha how to act, because everyone basically is a grihastha. Donc l'idée c'est que le Seigneur à Vrindavan va tuer beaucoup de démons, et ensuite il va aller à Dwarka. Combien de temps il va passer à Dwarka? 96 ans. Sur 125, c'est là qu'il passe le plus. Donc, 96 ans à Dwarka. Et là, qu'est-ce qui va se passer? Il va marier de nombreuses épouses. 16 108. Ça aurait pu être 16 000 milliards. C'est pareil, c'est totalement arbitraire. Et donc, bien sûr, dans chacune de ces épouses, 10 enfants. Et donc ça dépasse l'entendement humain tout de suite. Et bien sûr, il va s'adonner à des sacrifices. Hein. Et en fait, lors de ces sacrifices, qui est le Bhoktalam Yagyatapasam, Yagyapatim, Yagyapurush, c'est Krishna. Donc en fait, il accomplit des sacrifices pour son propre plaisir. Mais en fait, c'est pour montrer l'exemple, hein, puisque selon le Dharma, on est censé accomplir des sacrifices, et le nôtre, bien sûr, c'est Yagyer Sukhitan Prayer, c'est le chanter Hare Krishna. So, the Krishna Lila will start from the 5th chapter, actually, of this canto. We are still in the 1st chapter. So the first 4 chapters deal with Tattva, Krishna Tattva. It's important to always discuss Tattva before Lila, not the other way around. If you do the other way around, you tend to become Prakrita Sahaja. Prakrita Sahaja, they love to engage into Krishna Lila, but they have no knowledge as to the ontological position of Lord Krishna. They have no tattva, they have no siddhant. So that is why Shukdev, actually Sutta Goswami and Shukdev are going to establish for 4 chapters the Krishna Tattva. Donc les lilas vont commencer au 5e chapitre du livre, du 10e chant. Les 4 premiers chapitres, c'est Tattva. Ça veut dire ce qui a trait à la vérité quant à chez Krishna. On va parler de philosophie, c'est philosophique, c'est clair. C'est important, avant de commencer à apprécier les divertissements, c'est important d'avoir une base philosophique. Qui est Krishna? Qui est ce petit garçon? Voilà. Si on rentre dans le Bhagavatam comme dans un jeu de quilles, comme on dit, on ne peut pas vraiment apprécier. Tout de suite, on se projette dans les lilas, les divertissements. C'est bien, mais s'il n'y a pas une bonne base philosophique, on va se fourvoyer. Ça, c'est clair. So, the first 4 chapters describe Brahma's prayers. We know that. Why? Because the relief of the earth's burden. The earth came as a cow. She was totally afflicted by so many rascals. That is why it's going to give rise to the battle of Kurukshetra. She's afflicted. She goes to Brahma. Brahma himself is kind of nonplussed what to do, and then he goes to Lord Krishna. So this is the idea. Donc ce qui se passe, c'est que les 4 premiers chapitres parlent des prières de Brahma qui incitent le Seigneur à faire quelque chose, puisque Bhumi, la Terre, la planète Terre est une vache. Elle a été voir Brahma, et elle est totalement affligée. Il y a toutes sortes de Vinasha Dushkritam. Les Dushkritam, ça veut dire la racaille. Dushkritam. Excusez-moi du terme, mais Dushkriti, ça veut dire. Kriti veut dire piété. Dushkriti, ça veut dire. Ils ont de la piété, attention. Mais Dushkriti, ils l'utilisent mal. C'est ça, Dushkrita. Ils utilisent mal leur piété. Ils l'utilisent à mauvais escient. C'est comme si vous avez une fortune, mais vous en mésusez. Vous l'utilisez mal. Sukriti, ça veut dire. Ils ont de la kriti, ils ont de la piété, mais ils l'utilisent bien. C'est la différence. Donc, qu'est-ce qui se passe? Brahma va offrir des prières, et puis bien sûr, c'est ce qui va se passer. Donc déjà, sorry, back to English. So, very interesting to note here that Sutta Goswami is replying to some questions here. From whom? Because remember, Bhagavatam is an intertwining of many conversations which are crossing each other. So, who is in relation to Sutta Goswami? Shonakari. Thank you, Prabhu. So, did you notice the etiquette? Sutta Goswami is speaking, 14. But what does he do? Does he jump right away into answering bluntly? Oh, this is very interesting. Huh? He thanked the Maharaj, Shonakarishi. Actually, what happened is we have to get it right. Sutta Goswami is saying he heard the questions of Maharaj Parikshit, and Shukadev is going to thank Maharaj Parikshit with great respect. Srila Prabhupada said elsewhere that there's no difference of advancement between Shukadev Goswami and Maharaj Parikshit. We shouldn't be thinking this lower. No. And this is the same case in the Srimad Bhagavatam 1-1. Remember, for the first chapter of Bhagavatam, Shunaka Rishi, on behalf of the 60,000 sages of Nimisharanya, they have so many questions, 6 questions in the first chapter. Same story is not jump right away into the questions. Vyasovacha iti samprashna samrishto vipranamram olomarshanihi pratipujya vachastesham pravaktum upachakrame. Same point. Sutta Goswami is going to thank Shunaka Rishi. So this is the etiquette. We should be quite. When someone is inquiring very deeply, it's a source of bliss. We should appreciate that. We should thank the person for posing apt, proper questions. So here it's being acknowledged here. Donc l'idée, avant de commencer, c'est qu'on remarque tout de suite que Sutta Goswami parle, mais il fait référence à Shukadev qui répond aux questions de Maharaj Parikshit. Et tout de suite, Shukadev, qu'est-ce qu'il fait? Première chose, il remercie. Lorsqu'on pose des questions, l'interlocuteur en face, celui qui présente la chose, doit remercier. Remercier et avec grand respect. C'est tout un art de poser des bonnes questions. Et donc, c'est aussi un art de savoir remercier. Voilà. Et donc, effectivement, il va y avoir la Krishna Katha qui va être déversée, qui va couler comme du nectar. Et on va voir que cette Krishna Katha, c'est le sujet principal de ce tenor reporté. Kali Kalmash Gnam. This is the main topic here. Kali Kalmash Gnam. What's the meaning of that? Kali Kalmash Gnam. Gnam means to destroy. Yes, Bhagavati?
Yeah, destroys the misery.
Yeah. What is the verse? Iti Shudashakam Nam Nam Kali Kalmashanashanam. Same point. Kali Shantaran Upanishad. Brahma is telling Iti Shudashakam Nam Nam Kali Kalmashanashanam. Same point. Lord Brahma is telling us this mantra of 16 Sudash syllables can definitely fry the seed of sin. Kali Kalmash. Same point. If you plant a seed, a fried seed in the soil, even though there's ample sunshine and water, it's not going to sprout because it's fried, it's burned, it's cooked. So the mantra Hare Krishna has this part, plus Krishna Katha also, same part. So this is the main point here, the greatest panacea. Earlier on, Maharaj Parikshit made a beautiful point in 10.1.4. Nivrita tarsher upagiya manat ushadashrotamanu biramat kotama shlok gunanuvadat virajeta vinamat. Just before, 10 verses ago, he says that Nivrita tarsher upagiya manat. We have to be Tarsher. Tarsher means all the idiosyncrasies of this world, lust, activity, material activities. So here, we cannot get it both ways. You cannot get the material world. First, Nivrita Tarsher. We have to be released from, Nivrita means to cease from glorification of this world, so that we have space, room to glorify Krishna. Then Bhavoshada. Bhavoshada means it's like medicinal herbs. You know, Ayurveda, you take medicinal herbs because you have some ailments, and the Kaviraj knows, this is the the tonic. You need some tonics. You are tired, etc. You have a party, will give you some tonic. Boost you. A booster. What is that? Shrota Manu Biramat. Shrota means to hear. So we know we have to hear Vedas, but not all the Vedas. Are we going to be hearing indiscriminately all types of the Vedas? No. Apurushaya Shabda Praman. This is our interest in the Vedic literature. What is it? What is Apurushaya Shabda Praman? Praman means evidence. We have to hear Apurushaya Shabda Praman. Apurushaya means beyond human knowledge. There is some portions of the Vedas which are Purushaya Shabda Praman. Like, give you an example. Some material science, which is laid out, but it remains Purushaya. Purushaya means within the scope of human knowledge, of material knowledge. Like, for instance, Shilpa Veda. Shilpa means architecture. Okay, it's great. How to build a house. It's called geobiology. Shouldn't be a river under the house, and this kind of stuff. It's great, but it's not going to. So we are quite specific. Trigunya Vishaya Veda, Nis Trigunya Bhavajunan. We are not all embracing the Vedic literature. In Krishna consciousness, we are very specific. Apurushaya, first of all, it has to be Apurushaya Shabda Praman. And number two, it should be Vedusha Pratyaksha. There's two types of Pratyaksha. There is Vedusha and Avedusha. Vedusha means direct perception of the enlightened one. We listen to the enlightened devotee. Srila Prabhupada, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhakti Siddham. They are enlightened. They are Vedusha. They have a direct perception of their realized soul. They are beyond the 4 defects. So then we listen to them. Doesn't matter if it's Smriti or Shruti, this is not important. The main thing is it Vedusha Pratyaksha? Is it beyond the 4 defects? Is it coming from the direct perception of an enlightened soul? Otherwise, Avedusha Pratyaksha means you listen to the direct perception of an ignorant person. You follow? You may have some rishis in Vedic culture. They may not be necessarily Vedusha. See, even in the Bhagavatam, you find people which are given, they are explained, and their story is explained. I don't want to mention names, but they are not Avedusha. They are not Vedusha, they are Avedusha. So in Krishna consciousness, we are quite specific. Should be Apurushaya and it should be Vedusha, means direct perception of the enlightened. Look at our parampara, Narottam Das Thakur, Baladevi Vidyabhushan. I mean, they are totally transcendental. There's no doubt. They are beyond the modes. What to speak of beyond the modes? They are coming from the spiritual world. They're manjaris practically. So this is our line. Donc l'idée ici, c'est que c'est le point principal de ce verset. Kali Kalmashanam. Quelle est la manière pour faire disparaître les afflictions de ce monde, les galères de ce monde, les problèmes de ce monde? C'est latin, ça c'est clair, on l'a compris. Et donc, je citais 10 juste avant, il y a 10 versets, qui expliquent que Nivita, on ne peut pas à la fois le monde et glorifier le monde spirituel de Krishna. Il faut faire un choix. C'est difficile de glorifier deux sujets qui sont diamétralement opposés. C'est pas possible. Il faut faire un choix. Peut-être qu'on ne peut pas faire le choix du jour au lendemain, mais on doit tendre vers le bon choix des deux. Donc 10.1.4 explique bien que si on fait le bon choix de vérifier ce qui a trait à Krishna, qu'est-ce qui va se passer? Bhavo Shadat, c'est comme un tonique ayurvédique. Vous êtes malade, vous allez voir le docteur, il va vous donner quelque chose d'approprié et surtout un booster, un tonique. Donc Krishna Katha est comparé à ce tonique. Et donc, c'est quoi le tonique? C'est Krishna Katha. Et ça devient Abhiramat. Abhiramat, ça veut dire c'est très plaisant à l'oreille. Krishna Katha, c'est plaisant. Donc ces vibrations sonores védiques sont importantes, mais on ne les prend pas toutes comme argent comptant. Les dévots de Krishna sont très spécifiques dans leur approche de la littérature védique. Prabhupada a traduit des livres bien spécifiques. Apurusheya, ça veut dire des ouvrages qui tendent vers l'émancipation spirituelle, sortir du monde matériel, développer l'amour de Dieu. C'est pas que on va s'installer dans le monde de la matière au nom des Védas. Les Védas ont une autre fonction, c'est Nivriti Marg, c'est ça qui nous intéresse. Donc, on peut très bien s'installer dans ce monde matériel au nom des Védas. Donc, c'est pour ça que Krishna dit bien, Tregunya Vishaya Veda, Nistregunya Bhava Arjuna. Dépasse les Védas, mon cher Arjuna, qui n'ont qu'avec que les trois gunas. Donc, ce qui nous intéresse, on est bien précis. Nos parents, nos acharyas stipulaient que non seulement Apurusheya, ça veut dire au-delà du savoir humain, c'est vibration sonore, et en plus Vedusha Pratyaksha, ça veut dire on veut entendre parler de Krishna, de la bouche de parole de personnes qui sont illuminées, qui sont réalisées. On n'est pas là non plus pour lire à travers, à tort et à travers, surtout s'il s'agit d'écouter des gens qui sont encore dans l'ignorance. Donc voilà, on est très précis. Voilà, donc bien sûr, back to English. Here, Srila Prabhupada quotes beautiful verse. Those 4 verses, 1, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, say the Srimad Bhagavatam rests on those 4 verses. Remember, Bhagavatam was spoken before it happened. The first shlokas of the Srimad Bhagavatam are spoken by whom?
Krishna to Brahma?
And the first shlokas, the first 3 verses.
Yes,
Very good. So when Vyasadeva, he spoke those verses, Shukadeva Goswami spoken the Bhagavatam as yet? No. So in other words, he spoke it out. It didn't happen, but it is phrased as if it had happened. So it's a bit subtle. So what happened is, remember, Vyasadeva did not write the Vedas. Vedas Shasaver Davat Evachaham. He didn't write the Vedas, Vyasadeva. He compiled the Vedas. It's different. Because the Vedas, according to Brihat Ajanaka Upanishad, they emanate from the breathing of the Lord. How can you write the Vedas? Even Krishna doesn't say in the Gita that he wrote the Vedas. He says, Vedanta Kri Vedachaham, okay, I'm the compiler of the Vedanta Sutra. The goal of the Vedas is to know me, okay. Even Krishna doesn't say that he wrote the Vedas. It's coming from his breathing. How can you write something which is inherent to you? So, what is the function of Vyasadeva then? If he didn't write the Vedas, what is his function? Vyasadeva, Vyas means in Sanskrit, Vyasadeva.
He said to divide.
Excellent. Compile is different. Compiling is different from writing. Just like if coins in the temple room now, it's all mixed up. €1, €2, 50 cents, 30 cents. And I'm telling you, please, compile means to arrange, basically. Arrange them in stacks of proper coins. 2 coins, 1 coin, 50 cents coin, 10 cents, 20 cents. This is compiling. This is arranging. So at the end of each Dwapara Yuga, in each Divya Yuga, cycle of 4, is arranging the Vedas. But be careful, we should not leave it at that. What did he do? So he wrote in order, remember? Everything came from from the breathing. And then, we know first canto, what happened to him. He was somewhat, even though he had compiled a lot of things, I mean, can you imagine? Age, cycle of 4 is Vishnu himself. Is Vishnu Tattva. Oftentimes, Vyasadeva is a Jiv, like Brahma sometimes is a Jiv, but sometimes, if there's no one qualified to occupy the post, Vishnu will step in. So this is what happened in our age, in our cycle. Lord Vishnu stepped in. So we have Lord Vishnu as Vyasadeva. We are quite fortunate. So then, how did it happen? Remember, the 4 Vedas came out from the Lord. I mean, the 1 Veda came out from the Lord. Then Vyasadeva divided into 4. Then all the Shruti, each Veda has 6 components, okay? Vyakaran, Jyotish. Prabhupada said in Kali Yuga, the Puranas are more important than the Vedanta Sutra. Why? Because the Puranas are complete. The original Veda is not complete. How can you find all the gamut of all the Vedas, original Vedas? You cannot find it. So that is why Jiva Goswami explained, might as well focus on the Puranas, because the 4 lakh of Puranas are still available today. So now we come to Srimad Bhagavatam, but Bhagavatam has been written in twofold. When Vyasadeva, he compiled the Puranas, and there's 18 Puranas, and 18 minor, it's called Upa Puran, 18 minor Puranas. So he gave a blueprint of the Srimad Bhagavatam. It's called Bhagavat Puran, actually. It's not called Bhagavatam as yet. It's called Bhagavat Puran. He gave a blueprint, like a rough draft. Sometimes you write a draft, it's not completed. And he left it at that. Then he wrote, with his own hand, a rough copy of Bhagavat Puran. He wrote Mahabharata, still is not satisfied. So then, what happened? And he came to his own conclusion himself. What did he acknowledge to himself? It may be that I neglected glorifying the Lord sufficiently. That may be the cause. He himself came to that conclusion. Then who came on the spot at that time? Narad. To corroborate, my dear sir, my dear Prabhu, and Narad was kind of joking with him. My dear Prabhu, I mean, you have been compiling all the Vedas. You are abhuta jata, means your knowledge is bottomless. I mean, you cannot see the bottom of his knowledge, which is true. He is Vyasadeva, Lord Vishnu himself. How can you be undone, my dear Prabhu? How can you be undone? So he's like pulling his leg a little bit. And then Vyasadeva admitted, yes, my dear sir, you are, and of course he glorifies his guru, you are the son of Brahma. You are Trikalagya, everything is known to you. Please instruct me. Very humble, even though it's Lord Vishnu himself, in one sense he's beyond Narad. But you can see his demeanor. Very humble. Please instruct me. And of course, we know the story. Narada Muni is going to corroborate. Yes, you kind of neglected. You did mention, but it's not enough. So then, okay, perhaps I should shift back to French. Donc l'idée, c'est que, comment dire, on sait très bien que les 4 versets, il y en a un qui est cité ici, 1, 7, 4, 5, 6, 7, c'est les versets extrêmement importants du Bhagavatam. Le Seigneur Vishnu. Est-ce qu'il a écrit les Védas? Est-ce que c'est lui qui a écrit les Védas? Plutôt. Est-ce que c'est lui qui a écrit les Védas? Donc s'il les a pas écrits, qu'est-ce qu'il a fait? Transcrit, c'est pas encore le bon terme. Le bon terme, c'est compiler. Compiler, ça veut dire arranger. L'idée, je vais donner l'exemple, je jette 1000 pièces de monnaie ici, là, sur le temple. C'est totalement éparse, c'est en vrac. Vous allez arranger les pièces comment dirais-je, style de pièces. Les 2 euros, 1 euro, 10 cents. Pardon? Les classer, voilà, comme vous voulez, les distinguer, les compartimenter. Donc ça veut dire ça. On ne peut pas dire, même Krishna ne le dit pas, il n'a pas créé les Védas. Les Védas sont du souffle de Dieu. Par contre, quels sont les 3 livres qu'il est de sa main? Là, ce n'est pas compilé, ça vient de lui. Vedanta Sutra, Mahabharata, Srimad Bhagavatam. Donc ce qui s'est passé, c'est que tous les Védas émanent du souffle de Dieu. Le Véda original, y compris les Puranas viennent aussi du souffle de Dieu. Donc, Shruti, Smriti, souvent on fait cette distinction, ça n'a pas trop lieu d'être. Cette distinction vient de Shankar, en fait. Son propos, on l'a vu tout à l'heure, c'est écouter ce qui a trait à Krishna de lèvres, d'être réalisé. C'est ça le concern, le paramètre du dévot. Donc, il a donc compilé les Védas, les Puranas, il y a 18 majeurs, 18 mineurs, et lorsqu'il a fait les 18 majeurs, effectivement, il a ébauché le Bhagavad Purana, ce qui va devenir plus tard le Srimad Bhagavatam. Mais voilà, il a ébauché, comme on dit en français, il n'a pas finalisé. Ensuite, il a écrit le Mahabharata de sa main. Et bien sûr, on connaît l'histoire dans le premier chant, il est insatisfait. Il se dit, après tout, comment ça se fait que je suis vraiment insatisfait? Et il en vient à la conclusion lui-même que peut-être ai-je négligé la glorification du Seigneur Krishna. Ça doit être ça le problème. Là-dessus arrive Narad Muni qui corrobore, effectivement, ce que tu as fait est... Narada Muni est très très heavy, il utilise le mot abominable. Imaginez. Vous dites à Vishnu, ce que vous avez fait est abominable. Ça va très loin. Pourquoi? Parce que, bon, on ne va pas s'éterniser, mais il a en fait encouragé la religiosité plus que le Sanatan Dharma. Donc au nom du Dharma, il a diffusé les voies du Dharma, mais c'était plutôt Purusharth, un matériel qui va entraîner l'essor économique, le plaisir des sens. Donc, finalement, mon cher Prabhu, au nom de la religion, tu vas... Et bien sûr, Vyasadeva Bhagavad Purana, qu'il avait laissé en plan, si je peux dire. Le verset, le voici, vous allez me dire, mais tu tires ça d'où, Prabhu? Il faut connaître le Bhagavatam. 1.7.8. 1.7.8 est très clair, on y arrive bientôt. On l'a passé déjà. Qu'est-ce qu'il dit 1.7.8? Regardez, c'est magnifique ce verset. Il faut bien le connaître. Hein. C'est le verset qui prouve que Vyasadeva revient à la tâche. 1.7.8. Ah ben non, je suis dans le 10e chant. Là. Ça va pas aller. Donc dans 1.7.8, qu'est-ce qu'il dit? Il dit, j'ai révisé. Je suis revenu revisiter ce Bhagavad Purana parce qu'il a entendu les instructions de Narad Muni. Et là, dans sa maturité, le verset est cité aujourd'hui dans la teneur reportée, qu'est-ce qu'il dit? Anato pasamam shakshat bhakti yoga adochaje lokasya janato vidam shakre sadvatam samitam. This is such an important verse. This verse 5, 6, 7, 4. Bhagavatam rests, the purpose of the Bhagavatam rests on those 4. He just heard Narada Muni. He's totally enlightened. He's totally at the peak of his maturity. And we discussed in French, I just mentioned the point, 178. It's mentioned in 178 that he's revising the Bhagavad Purana, out of which previously he gave a rough draft, a blueprint. He's going back at it, and he's going to finalize the Srimad Bhagavatam that we know today. And then immediately upon going back to Srimad Bhagavatam, The instruction of Narada Muni are very fresh in his mind. Then that verse quoted today, Anarto pasamam shakshat bhakti yogam adokshaje lokasya janato vidvam shakre sarvatam samitam. What does he say? He says, totally fixed in pure devotional service, without any tinge of materialism, he sees Krishna. Krishna Param Purush. He sees Krishna. And he sees Maya right behind. And not only that, we are at the threshold of Kali Yuga. He sees the sufferings of all the jivas. We are about to enter Kali Yuga. He can see all these people are going to suffer like hell. You know? And then, next verse, what does he say? What is it? The material miseries are superfluous to the jiva. But unfortunately, people do not know this. And thus, Vyasadeva, out of his great compassion, is going to compile, is going to write the Bhagavatam to mitigate the pangs of the jiva. Because material miseries are superfluous to us. It has nothing to do with us. The other day, someone scratched my car. I'm trying to sell the bloody car. But, you know, I felt bad because, I'm keeping it nice. My wife drove the car without even license, can you imagine? And she scratched the car. And I said, I'm trying to keep the car so neat and clean. But then I figured, nothing with me, actually. I'm not scratched anyway. I feel bad. And I have to go to the garage, get the guy fixed up the car. How can I say it like this? But you know, we identify to the car, and I feel bad, but nothing to do with me. So whatever happens to us doesn't affect us. It's easy to say, you may say. So then, Vyasadeva understood all this. Yasyam Veshunamanayam Krishna Param Purushe Sadvata Samitam is going to finish off the Bhagavatam. He's going to Sadvata Samitam for the sake Shoka Maya Bahapaha. And the Bhagavatam has the power to get rid of Shoka Bhaya Paha. Fear, lamentation, illusion, Kalpatalo, the right of the Vedic tree or Vedic knowledge. In the maturity of Vyasadeva, he rendered Bhagavatam, he finalized it, and he gave it down to in Parampara, Shukadev, all the way down to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. So I'll stop here. Sorry, it's not easy to back and forth. So if you have any questions or anything of that sort you want to share. Abhimanyu Prabhu, you want to say anything? Okay. Prabhu? Okay. Shrimad Bhagavatam ki. Srila Prabhupada ki. Gaur Premanande.